You know that feeling, right? You're stuck on a problem. You're pushing and pushing, just trying harder, and you're getting absolutely nowhere, except more frustrated. We've all been there. So today, we're going to dig into this really cool idea about why sometimes putting in more effort is the exact opposite of what you need to do.
All right, let's kick things off with something we're all guilty of. I like to call it the brute force fallacy. It's basically our go-to default setting for when we get stuck. Seriously, think about it for a second. The moment you hit a wall, doesn't matter if it's at work, with a personal project, even a video game, what does your gut tell you to do? What's that immediate knee-jerk reaction?
Yeah, for pretty much all of us, it's this. We just double down. We think, okay, I just need more force, more brain power, I'll just throw more hours at it. It's like we believe that if we just ram our head against the wall enough times, it's going to crumble. But what if that's just a totally flawed strategy from the get-go? Okay, so this brings us to a really simple, but honestly brilliant metaphor that can completely reframe how you think about problems. Let's talk about angle over brightness. Just imagine you're in a pitch black room and you've dropped your keys somewhere. Now, you could go out and buy a massive, super bright flashlight and just blast the one spot you think they're in with more and more light. Or you could just, tilt the small flashlight you already have. And this really shows you the difference in action. More brightness, that's just brute force. It's just piling on more power in the exact same spot. And honestly, it's usually not very effective. But finding the right angle, well, that's a strategic change. It's about getting a totally new perspective. And suddenly, that's what reveals what was hiding in the shadows the whole time. And here's where the real magic happens. You start to realize this has nothing to do with flashlights or lost keys. This principle, this idea, it applies to pretty much every single challenge you're ever going to face. It becomes a whole mental model for solving problems in a smarter way. So the really crucial point here is how we actually use this idea of changing the angle. And it all boils down to one thing: the incredible power of perspective. We can actually give this a name: the minimal shift. It's this core principle that making a tiny, almost effortless change in your position, your viewpoint, an assumption you're making, your approach, can unlock so much more insight than just doubling down with more effort from the same old spot. So how do you actually do it? Well, it's a pretty simple process. Step 1, when you get stuck, just stop. Pause the effort. Don't push harder. Step 2, make a tiny shift. Ask a different question. Talk to someone new about it. Get up and walk around the block. Then you just observe from that new perspective. And almost like magic, that's where new information, new possibilities start to appear. And that's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? The solution might not be some complicated answer you have to find. The solution can literally just be the new way you're looking at the problem. The shift in perspective is the answer. Now, this leads us to the final piece of the puzzle. Okay, so if changing your angle is the goal, how do you actually get good at doing it? Well, this is where preparation absolutely crushes last-minute improvisation. And it just makes sense when you think about it, right? Trying to come up with a brilliant new angle when you're stressed out, frustrated, and panicking, it's almost impossible. It is so much easier when you've already prepared for the fact that, sometimes you're going to get stuck. I mean, just look at the contrast here. Scrambling at the last minute is super stressful, it's totally inefficient, and you're probably going to end up with a messy, subpar result. But having a dedicated kit ready to go, you're calm, you're efficient, and your chances of success just go way, way up. And just to be clear, your kit isn't necessarily a physical toolbox. It's your set of prepared strategies. It could be a list of 5 questions you always ask yourself when you're stuck. Maybe it's that one friend you can always call for a fresh take. Or it could be as simple as a habit of taking a 15-minute walk when you hit a wall. It's whatever you set up in advance to make that shift easy. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. Let's build out what this new toolkit for tackling tough problems actually looks like. So here it is, 3 core ideas. First, always remember the flashlight. Seek a new angle. Don't just add more brightness or force. Second, embrace the power of the minimal shift. You gotta believe that a tiny change in your position can reveal everything. And third, build your dedicated kit in advance so you're always ready to make that shift when you need it most. Look, if you remember just one thing, let it be this. The goal isn't to work harder by cranking up the force. It's to work smarter by changing your position. It's not about having the most powerful flashlight. It's about knowing how to hold it. So I'll just leave you with this question. Think about something you're stuck on right now, big or small.
What's one tiny, minimal shift you could make? What's one new angle, just one, that you could try looking from? The answer you're looking for might be way closer than you think.